Okay.
Welcome to the Harley and Josh show.
I'm Harley.
I am Josh.
I'm taking the blame for that.
Yeah.
Random nonsense noise. This week we have music by Caswell, Morgan Swan, and Goldblum.
As well as we're
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, the Jeff Goldblum. Anyway, I can't. This is a train wreck already. Anyway, but we'll also be talking about the growing number of female guitarists, as well as the new HMV owners joining forces with Tixserve.
And Harley.
Yeah.
Is there bad music? Question mark. But,
we'll answer that one later.
We'll answer that one. So, we'll actually play this jingle in context. Harley, what'd you do? Stuff.
The very bad desk workingness. That was a train wreck. I can only apologise. But as you know, I am Josh, so that's fine. So, yeah. I've had a mad week. It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been really busy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing lots of rehearsing. I was saying before we started, this is the most rehearsing I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
I've had 3 different rehearsals with 3 bands.
Three different bands.
Wait, maybe more. No, 3 rehearsals with 3 bands. Yeah.
Madness.
So if I can remember this in any particular order, I had a rehearsal with Rob Lewis, Andy Bartlett, Rainer Vandel, and Bronwyn Cooper.
That's amazing.
That's a super band right there. We've had loads of fun with that. We've got a private function for Rob's a firm that Rob works for, and he's put together a band of super powers and
the Axis.
The Axis, yes, it is awesome, and we've had one rehearsal and it's going really well so far.
The harmonies sounded great from the videos I saw.
Well, because we only had Rob, Bronwyn, and myself with a mic because we set up in a bit of a hurry, but then we also have the ability. We're going to be setting up a mic for Andy and Rainer as well.
Oh my goodness!
So we can do.
You're going to let that man sing.
Yeah.
You're going to let Rainer Vandel sing.
It's always best to let Rainer sing.
Otherwise he explodes.
Yes. So that was a great rehearsal. That was on a day. That was Thursday. Thursday, I believe. Yes,
it was because it was just before we met up for our old jet. Yeah,
of course. So and that went really well. I really enjoyed that. I also had rehearsal with the Mementos.
Oh, was it Momentous?
It was Momentous. We actually rehearsed on the day of the gig at the venue. We were able to set up early and have a little get together, which was great for me because usually we were rehearsing Needham and the gig was in Felixstowe, so I didn't have to drive all the way to Needham to come all the way back. So
what was the venue?
Very okay. It was Trimley Sports and Social Club.
All right, cool, yeah.
So nice, familiar ground.
Yeah, so you know how to EQ the room and stuff.
Yeah. And we were talking about various stuff. Now, it was interesting because it was a bit teary because it was our drummer Rob's last gig with us.
Oh my goodness.
He's taking a step back because he's
off the stage.
Yes, he's got a wee little baby.
Oh,
a wee little baby.
Not a massive little baby.
No, a wee little baby.
Babu.
And so he's sort of taking a step back to be more of a family man, which is great for him. We wish him all the best. We're not going to sort of be getting rid of him because obviously he is Laura's brother, and so they also work together. So we're not going to be
getting rid of. That sounds a bit murderous, man.
We're not going to be never seeing him again. So that's always good.
He sleeps with the fishes.
He did say he's more than happy to help out if we're ever in need of a one from any time, which is great. So
yeah, it's good. I like it when there's sort of like separations like that where you do feel like you could call on them if you need them in the future.
Yeah, that's because when people quit a band, it doesn't necessarily mean that they never want to see you again.
Yeah,
it's
right.
just that the way it goes,
It's like you've done that with bands before as well, haven't you?
Yeah. And so when I quit Space Rocks, when on the occasions that when they found someone, they couldn't do every single date because they had to sort of tie off loose ends with other projects and stuff like that. So I helped out fill out those dates, and that's always good and it's very helpful to do.
Yeah, it is,
and kind of helped
civilized.
Oh, very civilized. Yes. So that was really good. It was quite funny because we were talking about Toby Houghton. He's taking over some of the gigs that we've got for the Mementos. And we were talking, as we were setting up in Trimley Sports and Social Club, and I'm pretty sure his first gig was in here.
No way.
With, Not Without Reason.
Right.
That was you. Were you?
No, that wasn't me. I was Sacred Addiction.
It was Sacred Addiction. Unless it was Without Reason. Might be Winter Outreach. Anyway,
was there one began with V or something?
Valiant. That's it. So yeah, it was one of those bands, and
not Valium. Don't do drugs, kids.
No, Valiant. Not a real word. Not a real word. But hey, they made it work. So yeah, it was really cool. The gig in the evening went really well. It was quite nice because being in Felixstowe, there were some familiar faces from people that I knew. And this is
weird now because this is basically going to be like the Chart Attack plus a couple guys.
Yeah.
Because Andy plays with you guys sometimes quite regularly, actually. Isn't it?
And we have asked Laura to depth for Chart Attack from time to time as well, but
it's different guys.
She's never available.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because we had asked if she was available for a gig that we've got coming up next week.
Right.
But she's not, and instead we got Bronwyn.
Bronwyn, you do. That's great.
So, which is great playing with Bronwyn. We've kind of sort of joined, so we see a lot of each other now, which is great.
Yeah, that's nice.
And had rehearsal with Chart Attack yesterday.
Nice.
Which was absolutely hilarious. It was great fun.
She's fun.
She was, exactly the sort of person that works with the music that we've got.
Yeah.
And stepped
to fill
in.
those boots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot's got very big feet, so she's got big boots to fill.
Crikey! Would she just crawl up inside one?
Yeah,
she's quite little.
She's wearing one as a like a little sleeping bag.
Cheesy sleeping bag.
Sweaty sleeping bag. But it was really great. We're working on some new songs. We've got a couple of new songs. One of which, oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
Right.
We've been talking about doing it.
Where's this gig, by the way?
This is at the Gardener's Arms.
Gardener's Arms
on Saturday 13th.
Right.
And we've been getting ready, and my lord, it's my favourite song on our set.
Really?
Already.
Are you not? And you're not going to tell me?
No, mate. You got to come to the gig, mate.
FOMO.
Yeah. Are you about?
I've got a wedding.
Nah. I'm afraid. Fair enough.
Yours? I mean, I'm happy, but no. I mean, Frankie would be annoyed, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Last minute, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So if you're about on Saturday and you don't fancy finding a way to sneak into Josh's wedding, we haven't given any suggestions of how to sneak into a wedding recently.
Home wrecker.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Home wrecking wedding crasher.
All about that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday, and you should too. And come along, please. It'll be great.
He's not talking to me.
No, I'm talking to you. Talking to you guys.
You.
I hope they can hear me, like turning from here slightly to the left into the mic, and then I'm talking to
the left. Yeah, that's helpful. It's an audible cue
that
they're talking to. Nice, man. So, did you have gigs over the last weekend?
Yes, so I did one gig, which was with the Mementos. So that was basically it.
That was the wedding. Yeah,
that was it was a 30th birthday party.
30th birthday party,
which was it was great.
Anybody you knew?
Nobody I knew. It was a friend of the singer and drummer. They work with someone to do with, I can't remember. It's stuff. It's relations and friends and stuff.
I mean, you'd like to think. Well, I think people do assume that a lot of the work we get as musicians is from just mates that are like, you're a musician, help us out. And it is like that in the sort of the first couple, sort of like, maybe a year or something like that. But it's actually, if you play your cards right, you barely ever do mates rate stuff anymore.
No. It's once you get that bit right, and we're all happy to do mates rate stuff.
Yeah.
But when you need to do your full markup stuff to actually make the profit,
Exactly, because most of the time you just do it just to break even.
Yeah.
The sort of mates rate stuff, so that you're not losing money.
Yeah, because chances are you'd want to be there at your mate's birthday party or at your mate's wedding anyway. So if you can do it and pay the rest of your band, if nothing else,
that helps things. Yeah, that does help things. But from doing those mates rates gigs and getting the goodwill of people and them spreading the word. I mean, I would say it's like 90%. The people that I work for now are sort of 90% people I don't know.
Yeah,
and 10% people that that are just sort of like very sort of small connections, if that makes sense. So I don't have to worry too much.
Although when you're playing local gigs, the chances are that you turn up and there's someone is always quite high.
Yeah.
I remember there was a series of weddings I did, and a friend of mine, Sadie, was at every single wedding, over one summer, because she was obviously at that age band where all of her friends were getting married,
Yeah.
And so every time we got to an event, she was there. And we're like, it's you. And
I'm going to say, I mean, Bronwyn's friend Luke, he has been to so many weddings that I've played,
Really?
and he's just a very popular guy. And every time I see him, like, we've never really got formally introduced. But I would just be like, it's you, and it's me. I'm so sorry, you're stuck with the same entertainment once again.
like, oh guys, we got to play a different set.
Do
do you ever play the same set twice?
No.
No,
I
that's
don't think we
great.
ever actually have.
No. Do you have a set, or do you call them out as you go?
It depends on where we play.
Yeah.
No, so you've got to read the room, haven't you?
Yeah, of course.
That's
Nice.
it. But I mean, it's not about me, Harley. This is your section. You enjoy yourself.
Well, I'm kind of, I'm done, so I'll just play a jingle and we'll go to the next bit, shall we?
Okay, buddy. Harley did stuff. Well done, buddy.
I did it right.
Oh, you did a thing. It was a real jingle. Right, before I talk yammering things about yams, I want to play some music by a band that keeps popping up on my radar, but each week it will be the fact of there's just sort of another band that I've been like, I want to play them instead. But this week they're playing a show locally, so I want to plug the gig, and they're a great band. They're from Cambridge. This band is called Goldblume. I don't know if it's Jeff Goldblum or not. If they're from Cambridge, they're like, you'll probably be able to hear as soon as he starts singing. Their song is it's called Husk. Enjoy. What's
Hello.
We have just gone live on Facebook, so if you want to join us and see what we look like, join in, mate. That was Husk by Goldblume. They are playing locally very, very soon, so stick around to find out where that will be, mate.
Awesome. Now, I've talked about my day. I want to hear about your day.
You really want to know what I did, mate? Oh, that's nice of you, isn't it? What did I do? I did some stuff, man.
Yeah?
I did, so musical stuff. I had quite a stressful week, I think. We had last week a rock project before the Easter break, so there was a lot of sort of crossing the I's, dotting the T's, making sure the kids have got the right stuff to practice over 2 weeks, or whatever.
Made it to the summer holidays. Wait, it's not summer.
No, it's not. Don't get my hopes up. It was nice to sort of just get a lot of performance in with them, and really critique them on how they've got to hold themselves on stage.
Yeah.
Because it's just not something that you get regularly when you have music lessons privately. But the scary thing was, on both the Wednesday and the Thursday, I had school performances on both days. I teach out of Moorland Primary School, and I basically had about 40 guitar and ukulele students up on stage at once. They did Let It Be by the Beatles, and We Will Rock You.
Nice.
Because there was some kids that just like to just hammer out a bunch of chords, and I've been leading up to this for the whole of this term, basically just trying to get them read up and ready to go, and they were just they really brought it, if that makes sense. Like they were so ready for it after all the sort of hype of like weeks and weeks and weeks of just being like, right, you got to practice this, practice that, practice this, really making them play the songs over and over and over again. They were pretty good. There wasn't a
nice.
I mean, in terms, they were wonderful, but they were pretty good in terms of whether they'd actually learnt the tracks.
Okay, cool, good.
Because most of the time, when we're in a one-to-one or workshop situation, they can just look at me for what I'm playing. But for the performance, I was off to the side. I was playing with them, but they couldn't just look at me.
Out on their own.
I know, exactly. I did see a bunch of eyes sort of darting my way to be like, what am I supposed to be playing? And I'd just be like, A major!
Major?
Just not like that, Major E. Captain. That was great. They did a really good job. The parents were in for that one on the Wednesday at Moorland. There was some glowing reviews of them.
Oh,
they
great.
just came up to me and they were like, they love playing guitar. So, please keep going.
I mean, obviously the parents will be very proud, but were you also very proud?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the people don't realise how proud the teachers get.
Yeah,
of
glowing.
Of those kind of, those performances where you just go, they couldn't even hold the guitar at the beginning of term.
Yeah, you're right.
It's now like
Well done.
Now they're playing a song on their own, without like the help from, you know. Oh,
you do see a bit of yourself in the students when they're doing it. It's like you remember what you felt like on your first performance, and sometimes you don't really remember it very vividly what it was like the first time you got up in front of people. So having that there, it does give you this flooding back, doesn't it? Of what it was like. And yeah, it was the first time I'd felt nervous in front of an audience in years.
And you weren't even on stage?
No, exactly. Well, they said, this wouldn't be possible without Josh. And and the music teacher Becky, and they dragged us both up, got Becky some flowers, and gave me a bottle of wine. I was just like, I was bright red, and I was just like, no, thank you. I just ran away pretty much immediately.
Oh, bless!
Because I was just like, I didn't want to be taking focus, like pulling focus. If that makes sense. But I was really like, I wasn't expecting that, so it was nice. And then the next day, on the Thursday, we, my 5 private students at Rendlesham Primary School got up in front of their whole school and played in front of them. So We Will Rock You again, because I've just been keeping that quite constant. Because
it's a nice entry level song, isn't it?
Definitely. And they also did Shotgun, George Ezra.
Oh, tune.
As well as what else did they do? They did Alone by Marshmello, because like, the kids these days, they love Marshmello.
So does Rainer.
It's great. Yeah.
Big Marshmello fan.
Who knows, even if they aren't vegan.
Yeah.
It was amazing just to watch them glow, because they chose those songs specifically because I was, at the beginning of a lot of the lessons, I'll be like, so think of a song you love. I'm going to teach you some theory for the first half, and then you're going to tell me what song that you want to learn, and then we're going to apply that theory to that song in the second half. Just because sometimes it works, because sometimes they'll just be like, sort of taking it in when they're actually thinking about, what song am I going to do, or hurry up and get to my cool song, But yeah, so that was why we did the Marshmello ones, this one, and the George Ezra ones, because the ones they chose. And the We Will Rock You one was because I got the class, all the classes watching at the assembly involved with stomping and clapping, which obviously everybody sped up immediately. So you go, doom, doom, clap. Everybody's like, doom, doom, clap, doom, doom, clap. Yeah.
Mickey, you're so funny.
We will rock you. We will rock you. It was. So it was just to watch the adoration of their peers being sort of bestowed upon them was really, really nice, because some of the students are quite kind of awkward, some have autism, and others have been going through some personal tragedies recently. One of them, his mother died, and he's 8.
Wow.
And so it was watching him light up. And after being, he had some time off school, and he was great kid, and they're all great kids, and just being able to watch them just have this big beaming smile, and getting emails from their parents just saying they were buzzing about it, and also I got some more students from it as well. There was ulterior motive there, I will say.
I think with those things, there always will be, but then it's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, well, I think they got the bug now.
Yeah.
I feel like they have been grabbed by the musical tentacles beyond the stage. I know, sorry.
Sounds like some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff right there.
The musical Kraken. So you know what a musical Kraken dragging you on the stage ship.
What? There's a dragon too?
Kraken dragon. Dragon with tentacles. You heard the old sea shanty's tales, the Kraken dragon.
I'm just trying to think if we can make a Racer X joke.
Racer X, nice.
Tentacle difficulties.
Well, we have been having some technical difficulties there, haven't we? For the show.
It was the Kraken did it.
It was the Kraken, just the Kraken dragon. I was really, really proud of them. During the week, I also got to meet up. So on the Tuesday, I have a private student, and he's just started his own band.
Awesome.
And he's just started sixth form, and I sort of have him every couple weeks, maybe sort of twice a month, and he said, can we have a lesson on just how to run a band, or how to promote these kind of things?
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely. So I said, we'll do an hour and a half session instead of a normal one, and just discount it. And I just sat him down with his singer, and we were just talking about marketing, promotion, band relations, bookings, how to get your first couple gigs, image,
Of course,
you know, social media as well, and just sort of going over. Oh, they wanted a bit of hand with songwriting as well, and it was great. We really did get a lot of stuff done in that kind of hour and a half.
Yeah.
To give them this idea of to run it like a business, because if I'd have known to run my band like a business when I first started, I mean, I could be so much better at my job by now.
That's it. It's that's a big
I think
deal.
I wouldn't have had so much fun. However,
I know I'm a proper business nerd.
Yeah.
Business. Well, you've seen my wonderful spreadsheet.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
biz nerd.
To be business is a game in itself.
No.
And if you can enjoy that as much as you can enjoy their music, then you can enjoy every part of your work.
True.
Easier said than done sometimes, because it's not everyone's passion. If you want to just get out there and play music,
just enjoy it,
then that makes it a little bit of a different game. But
well, so it was good, because I just love those moments, because in guitar lessons you do have to go through the theory stuff, and the great thing about guitar is that it is very pattern based and it's quite formulaic. So if you say to someone like, okay, so this is an E major, no, it's an F major bar chord, we move that down 1 fret, we take off our first finger, we've got an E major chord, and they can literally see that and go, oh wow, visually that makes sense, and sonically it makes sense.
I remember that being a revelation when I was learning.
Yeah, exactly right. So the cage system and all that sort of stuff. But those moments are quite few and far between within a sort of an hour lesson, where you see them just go, what? You know, like proper, like those moments where you see connections being made in their brain, and that's probably the main reason why I like teaching, is just that moment where you see people go, you know.
They say learning isn't like a gradient, isn't a straight line. It's a steps thing.
Yeah, interesting.
Where there's
it's
a revelation
square wave rather than a sine wave.
Yeah, there's a like a revelation where you go poof. And then you kind of take a little while to soak that in, and then woof. I was trying to think of an example of the next thing you can learn, but woof. A bowf.
Oh yeah, like a bowf.
Like a bowf.
So just going through that lesson, there was a lot of sort of like MMEs, as Murray and I call them, massive mind expansions.
I like that.
Where you just sort of go, and you think about things differently. And I've noticed them start to implement it now. I told them to get themselves a YouTube channel. They said that their demographic, they were hoping for a younger audience. And they said, we got a Facebook page. I was like, they're a bit old for you now, mate.
Yeah.
Go for a TikTok. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's a market that I have not even looked into.
I've not even been on TikTok.
No, but a lot of our students talk about it as if it's the best thing.
Exactly, and you've got a captive audience from very, very young. So I personally wouldn't go on there to promote, because that's
most public shows are over 18, so it's not.
Yeah,
really
exactly. So they're not going to be buying booze.
No.
And if they are, that pub has a problem, and they need to be reported.
Yeah, we don't want to be funding that kind of.
Gig from TikTok.
No. So yeah, I thought it was a really fun, productive lesson. I also had a meeting with Tallulah Good Times.
Oh yeah.
Who I've played some of her music on here. She did a remix of one of my tracks from the album. But she is putting together. Yes, well remembered.
I did remember.
She is putting together a sort of super group of sorts as well.
Awesome.
Including Murray, Rich, and myself as JS and the Pomp. So doing like gypsy jazz style stuff. Hannah Hinchliffe on the sax.
Awesome.
And Merlin Bruce,
great,
playing keys.
Oh wow!
With Tallulah Good Times doing all the production and singing, and but we're going to be playing at Maui Wowie on a Friday night at like 9:30.
Nice.
It's going to be mental.
Yeah. Do you have a date? When is that?
That's a very good question. I think it's August 24th.
Damn.
I'm pretty certain. It's going to be that weekend, so 24th, 25th, maybe 26th. But yeah, so I think that's going to be a wonderful show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and everybody's going to be losing their minds. But yeah, we've yet to have a full band rehearsal with that yet. So yeah, it's going to be rehearsal hippos at the moment. So anyway, with that, I'm going to stop talking so much, and we should listen to some wonderful music. Talking to Merlin Bruce, he produces, performs live with, and is just a good mate to this wonderful sultry singer Caswell, who she's from Woodbridge, right?
I don't know.
I think so. She is releasing her EP in London this Wednesday.
Wow.
Taking it down there. This track was released as a single beforehand. This one's called Surface. I think it's wonderful. I've listened to the EP now. It's now available on iTunes and Apple and stuff like this. If you like your spatial electronica with this kind of Jessica Rabbit style voice over the top of it.
Right, yeah.
Really wonderful sounds. So, check this out. This is Surface by Caswell. Enjoy!
Right before your love.
That was Surface by Caswell.
It sure was. I like that one. She's got her EP coming out it's already out on Apple Music, but she will be releasing it live in London. So stick around for the gig list to find out where. But yes, mate. So shall we do some super serial news stories?
Righty-ho. Let me just find out what the news stories are.
I'm going to read out one of the headlines. HMV partners with Tixserve for digital in-store event tickets.
And there is a growing number of female guitarists in the musicians community.
And a growing number of belches from Harley's gut. But first, I like this story. Half of all new guitar players are women, find study.
Yeah, that's great. And I've noticed this, actually, from teaching. We have mentioned this before, how there seems to be a healthy number of females taking up music, and not just guitar, drums, bass, vocals, and stuff like that. I think we're definitely going in the right direction to having a more non-binary music scene. Yeah,
I think you'll get expanded from that. Artists such as St. Vincent could be encouraging more women to pick up the guitar. That's what the study finds. I've watched a video on The Late Show, Stephen Colbert, of her, H-E-R, doing a live performance, and man, she wailed. She did these awesome, she's a singer and guitarist, and she does this amazing tapping solo in the middle of it. I was just like, yes. I just like that, because too often a woman playing guitar is used as a gimmick rather than it's just a thing. In the risk of sounding controversial, it's nothing special that a woman's playing a guitar. No. It's just a human picking up an instrument. It's got nothing to do with gender, and their gender doesn't say whether they're going to be any good at it or not.
But because they're a minority in the past, they've been considered as something special, as something different. Yeah. Because
it should be encouraged, definitely, but it shouldn't be just made as it's an amazing thing. I don't know. Anyway, but she was such a great guitarist, and it was good because it didn't feel like a publicity stunt. Yeah. Just she's just standing there with a guitar, so people will be like, oh wow, a woman playing guitar. She just got out and she just ripped this thing up, and I was just like, nice one. All right. Yeah. You're good at your instrument, and you're not just using it as a promotional tool.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's great. And although we say music, that shouldn't be sold as a gimmick, I do feel a good friend of mine, Tixserve, she did a lot of guitar work on stage, and that was Taylor Swift, people who don't know her personally.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But they attribute a lot of the girls playing guitar to her thing. Although she
called it the Taylor Swift effect, didn't they?
Yeah, and which, I guess even if it's not what you want, if it brings you closer to what you want, then that's good, I guess.
Definitely. All this comes in spite of rock music slipping below the popularity of genres such as hip-hop, suggesting its prevalence has more to do with how the guitar is valued by individuals for its educational and social benefits, which is very, very true. I think, social benefits, definitely, just of having something as a bit of a release. Many of the beginners surveyed said they simply want to learn songs to perform socially or by themselves, suggesting that all of them harbored rock star ambitions. Maybe that's the difference between the men and the women. I mean, I've always thought, I want to play in stadium gigs, pyrotechnics, but it shows that the people surveyed in this one were just like, no, I just want to use it as a release or just to, take to parties. Yeah, as a hobby,
Which is great, and that's fine. Yeah. But it is interesting to see that there are different opinions, consensus from the depending on the gender.
Yeah.
but hopefully that doesn't mean that in the future you'll have professional male guitarists being seen by the world, and then you'll have just as many female guitarists, but not doing it on the stage, so they don't get seen as much.
Right, I see what you mean.
That's where
they do need to be in the public eye.
Yeah. I'm not saying force people on stage when they don't want to be, but
yeah,
you know,
and it's because a lot of the time we're sort of like dominated by this male-female kind of divide in music. Like, I watched The Dirt last night, the Motley Crue biopic, really cool film, but it is it's just so much excess, and it was very graphic, a lot of it. So if you like your 80s music, check that out, because I loved it. But there is a gender divide there. It was musicians, dudes, groupies, women, or mums, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, for that story, obviously that's a thing. But then you got stories like The Runaways and Joan Jett, and the more stories need to be told like that. Like Janis Joplin, I want to see a Janis Joplin film.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But so I guess we do need to saturate the market a little bit with the image of the female musician,
and I mean,
before we get full equality, I suppose.
This is a great chat straight after playing some Caswell.
Yes, she's great.
She's killing it, absolutely killing it. You know, and I mean, I think, although it should be saying the focus there is on guitarists, because there are plenty of female singers and performers in that way. I don't know what the percentages are.
Whether they can play an instrument as well as sing,
or whether they're known for playing an instrument and sing. Like Adele, she's known as a singer, but she started out as just herself and a guitar.
Oh, really? I didn't know she played.
Yeah, she was a lot of her. You can find some of her early demos. It's just guitar and herself, like her playing guitar.
That'd be really interesting to check that out. Actually.
You know, she was writing the sort of music that sounded good on a piano, so when she could afford to hire somebody to play a piano, and then why not?
Yeah, exactly. You got the money.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's a great news story, and another good news story that you found today.
Yes. So
you found both these news stories, Mr. Journaliste. HMV partners with Tixserve for digital in-store event tickets.
This is brilliant.
I was slightly confused by because usually you can get most of the story from the headline, right? That's a good headline. This one I was like, okay, I don't know who Tixserve are. And when it says in-store event tickets, I didn't know where it's saying all the events are all going to be in store, or you could buy the tickets in store.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, let's read on. So Tixserve is a software a software as a service. I'm really bad at reading. Digital ticketing solution that enables event creators and rights owners to create branded interactive digital tickets that are delivered directly to consumers' mobile phones.
Okay, so it's really good as something that when you're out and you are in HMV and you're in music mode, they can get you where you live then. If you're so like, okay, so there's it's 21 Pilots, isn't it? They've been kind of partnering with. They've sold thousands, right? So I think there was 3,000 albums that were sold on that first day, and tickets went with that. And because of this Tixserve thing, they were able to deliver the tickets immediately to people, but without them being non-transferable. I think which is really good to stop the scalpers, like we've been talking about with Viagogo and ticket touters that increase prices by 200% or something.
That's a real modern way. Modern solution to a modern problem.
It's bad for if you are buying tickets for a present, though, and if you don't know that person's like address and their like national security number or something like this.
One would hope that they'll put
national insurance numbers.
They'll put means or there'll be ways and means of doing that.
Yes, I expect so. If you are the, this. I don't know if you bought it and you are contacting them, so I'm sure there must be a way of doing it, like you say.
Redeem it, like you get a code that you can redeem. In store.
We should hope so.
I personally am always a little bit anxious when buying tickets online. I don't do it a lot. Generally I don't travel a lot to go to these big events like O2 and stuff like that. So when it comes to buying tickets, if I could go into a shop and buy a ticket, it would make me. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with doing that.
True, yeah.
This could be a
sale.
me being an old man thing. Not like actually being an old man, but just being the physical.
But it's all right to bring old school ways of business to a new school audience and technological landscape. And it was also so. Here I said 200% earlier. In the run-up to HMV's 21 Pilots events, it was found that touts, or scalpers, were advertising yet-to-be-activated Tixserve tickets online for up to £200, a markup of more than 1,000%.
Wow.
On the album ticket bundle. When fans alerted HMV of these cases, organisers were able to disable all the ticket transfer functionality unless authorised on a case-by-case basis.
Okay,
so that really helps, doesn't it?
They've got all the cards in their hand.
Yeah,
they
much
can
easier to just disable it if it goes wrong. So yeah, I think that's great. I mean, we're gonna have to see how it gets implemented.
Yeah. At least if it's a new format, so it's a lot more malleable than the old style of paper tickets.
Yeah, true. So yeah, we'll to see how that works. But anyway, we've got to move on because we've got quite an interesting topic to talk about this week, haven't we, big old Harls?
We have.
This morning. Jingle. Harley, is there such thing as bad music?
Well, you've heard of Jedward.
Funny guy. But they've got fans that think they're wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, their music is not objectively bad. It's just subjectively bad.
Yeah.
And that's the topic I want to talk about, is objective badness.
Yeah.
Because, there's certain things that we can really dislike, but if you step back and you actually try to analyze it as to why you dislike it, it doesn't always come out of the fact of just the thing itself is bad.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What can you give me an example of something you think is a bad song?
Oh, I hope. This is going to be. Okay, this is going to be a bad example.
Because it's a bad song.
I guarantee you there will be many people in the audience listening and go, I love that song.
Right.
Bob Marley, 3 Little Words.
Okay.
Now, it's, yeah. That's a look of shock and awe and disappointment from you. But here's the thing. We were going to play it.
Is it shock and or disappointment? Or
shock and awe and disappointment. All the ands. No need for you, Oxford comma. We're going to play it a gig on Saturday. And I was just like, this is just such a downer. It's like we played it for a rehearsal. I was like, it's so flat. It's just nothing to it.
Right.
And like we got all these up and dancing songs, and then there's this in the middle, and it's a massive lull. And now, not saying it's a bad song, although that's exactly what you asked me to say.
Right.
But for that purpose, I was like, no, it's just a bad song. So
you've hit on something there, which is simplicity. And is a very, so there's only 3 chords in that whole song, A, D, and E, isn't it? So it's 1, 4, and 5. And a lot of the time we do assume when songs are perceived as bad is usually because they are very repetitive and simplistic, which is why most people, like Nigel earlier was commenting, say most stuff that's in the charts. And the reason why things are in the charts is because they are simplistic, easy to replicate, easy to hum, and can get, hooked in your head quite easily. But I can think of some great songs that are really simplistic and use the same 3 chords. Stand By Me. 1, 6, 4, 5. The chord sequence. So there's A, F sharp, D, and E, and that's it's a great song. I think it's a great song. It does have dynamics. It has a narrative to it. And it has it ebbs and flows. So it's not flat like you were describing 3 Little Birds.
I have an example of a song which I just put some music on the way to a gig the other day. One of my favourite albums is an album called Splendour and Misery by Clipping.
Right.
I don't know if it's something you've come across. It's like a electronic rap album kind of thing.
Right.
It's a whole concept album. Basically, future space slaves. And a slave takes over a ship and runs away, and it's all about the psychosis of running away into deep space. It's kind of
I have heard about this,
and it's incredible.
I did actually listen to something. Yeah, you're right, and it is wonderful.
It's wonderful. Yeah. However, one of the tracks, it's because it's all during the spaceship being trying to take
up AI.
Yeah, being taken over, and the the mothership trying to override the system that's in this other ship that's being taken, that's been commandeered, and it's all just lots of very harsh like noise, a lot of pink noise, a lot of like electronic sort of scramblings.
So it's disconcerting to listen to.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable.
It's hard to listen to, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah, see, there we go. So again, there's another thing you've hit on there is intention. Yeah. And a lot of the time, if a song is meant to make you feel a certain way, and it's doing that, then you could say that that's a good song. If it is completely missing what the actual intention of the first place from the creator, then you could say it's bad. Like if they're writing a love song, but all it's doing is making you uneasy.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make that whoever's listening to feel romantic or whatever. Then you could say that's a bad song.
So you're saying a bad song is a song that doesn't meet the description or the what's the word? Yeah, it doesn't meet the
criteria, I suppose.
Of the writer.
Yeah, I think if it's not conveyed properly and if it's not being received a certain way, then I would say that it's kind of bad. But I mean, even then, somebody else would subjectively like it. So to them, it would not be bad music. So the subjectivity does go into this. And then, so I was reading into this, and a lot of the sort of studies that I was reading into this were more sort of teleological or about finality. So thinking about music as a tool. So like you say, like I was just saying just then, that, if they want you to feel a certain way, then the music is being used for a purpose. Yeah. Whereas music is not really like that. It is just organized sound.
Yeah. It's all wiggly air.
Wiggly air, like you say. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. It's about sounding sincere as well. Whether the song sounds, I think a song is bad. Like The Only Girl in the World, that Rihanna song. It made me feel I'm the only girl in the world. Like, like the whole song, I feel like she's like shouting it at you and doesn't feel sincere at all.
Yeah, that's not the timbre someone would use if someone's making them feel
loved.
Feel loved, yeah.
Yeah, and it's that thing of where you might sit in, like where you're aiming this at. So would you feel like, I think, like what Nigel was saying earlier with mainstream music, I think we listen to that when as people that like to listen to the niche style stuff.
Okay, yeah.
As people that are trying to advertise something to the middle, something very middle ground, something that you could easily imbue your own meaning on, so it's not very specific, so that it makes that sort of Venn diagram of sort of sour and sweet kind of thing, it's right in the middle there, and it's not really making a statement. So I think sincerity comes into it.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So going back to your previous point of sort of how having the desired effect, Storm Corrosion, the album, there are parts of that are very hard to listen to, and it's designed to be very hard to listen to. It's very uneasy because it's all about witches and various bad
Beasties.
things. Yes, all beastie.
Krakens.
Yeah.
I thought this came down quite well when I was reading. A good song should manifest human excellence.
Ooh.
In other words, it is not the case that any ordinary person could create a song like it. Its creation requires enormous skill. It impresses. It earns our admiration. The difficulty that the creator traversed amazes us. And that's what I love about listening to music. I like to listen to the technicalities of it. Classical music, definitely.
Yeah.
And you sit there and go, God, geez, how the hell did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Go on.
I was listening to some Jacob Collier this morning.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
I think he's all right, but it's that kind of thing of like, just because you can do something in music sometimes doesn't mean it sounds good.
I know, but there are points when he's hitting like notes that are like 4 notes that are within space of like semitones and whole tones of each other.
Yeah.
And because he's putting them in the right place, I'm like,
fit.
how does that sound
exactly.
good?
That should just sound atonal.
On its own, it sounds bad, but because it's leading somewhere and it's knowing that when to do something that you shouldn't do.
a separate discussion that we do some other time. If you guys agree, let us know in the comments or give us some suggestions of what you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah.
But how we come to thinking certain things are bad and good does come a lot down to sort of how we grew up, who we grew up with, and the music that we grew up with as well.
Certainly, yeah.
Side note, the moral content of a song, I think, can make it sound bad, or who wrote it as well. I was thinking about this with Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent, I used to absolutely love his tracks like Stormtroopers and Cat Scratch Fever, but then he comes out as just this massive racist, homophobe, and just sexist person. So when I listen to Cat Scratch Fever, it's very derogative to women, and Stormtrooping, it's like it's kind of talking about the sort of secret police and a sort of government run police service and stuff like this. And he's come out way for Trump and everything like this, and now people are getting evicted from houses, and so he's those songs just become completely shot down by him.
Right.
So so even if I do still love the riffs, I think of them as bad music because they were made with bad
context,
intentions.
Yeah.
So I think it does in terms of intentions. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, Harley.
Okay.
Because we've got a lot of gigs to get through.
Oh, is there a lot going on?
There's a lot going on.
Alrighty.
First shout out. Let's. Before we do that, come on. We've got to be like proper like jingle centric, innit? Rob Lewis.
Oh, by the way, Rob, thank you for helping fix my van this morning.
Check the video on Facebook. Amazing. So Rob Lewis is doing a live and original set at Distilled Republic this Wednesday at 8:00. So he's going to be doing all his own stuff. Goldbine Hedgehogs. He's got a solo album stuff coming up as well. So that sounds amazing. Caswell is also playing, like who we played earlier. Is playing the Blindside EP launch at the Servant Jazz Quarters in London this Wednesday at 7:30. Matt Catling is doing Freakberg Nation, presents Tugboat Captain. It's Friday, 12th April at the Smokehouse. This Friday coming up. Got something you want to talk about there, Harley? On Friday.
Well, no, I haven't. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I was checking the comments on that video. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Organ of Corty, we've played them on the show before.
Oh,
if you like your
yes.
doomy stuff. Stone Crows and Oz Taylor are playing at the Prince in Sudbury. It's Friday, 12th of April. Also Friday, we've got Albion Mills, Friday the 12th of April at the Salutation, my favourite covers band locally.
Yes.
That's a big deal. A couple more for Friday. Goldblume, who we played earlier, if you like your sort of math grunge.
Yeah.
Plus Blue Mean Eyes, we've played them on here before with Brixton Shrug. Basement Strippers plus more. That sounds quite nice. At the Constitutional Club in Bury at the 12th, so that's this Friday. And Tugboat Captain, the Glitter Shop, and the Fallen Sky, as well as Sam Eagle, who we've played loads of times on here, at the Smokehouse this Friday, the 12th of April. What you got there on Saturday, Harley?
There's so much happening on Saturday. I'm going to start off with my own gig because it's the only one that I really remember all the details. Yeah, so Gardeners Arms, we have special guest Bronwyn Cooper of Underline the Sky going to be fronting, and we're going to be playing our new song, which is going to be the best thing ever. So make sure you get along for that.
Yeah, check that out, guys. We've got Tundra are releasing a single this Saturday at the Hunter Club, including Fight Milk, the Sandinistas, and Pixel Bog. That's what I don't know how to pronounce that.
That's many words.
There's some. We're going to play some music from this wonderful person, Morgan Swan, and we're going to finish the show with him.
Yeah,
he's playing with Martel, Rye Shabby, LMC, Darkest Blossom, Mex and Fabs, and Angel, A-N-G.
Sweet. This
Saturday at the Smokehouse, the 13th. It's quite amazing. Third Dart, The Witch Kids, and Maddie. They're playing at Coda Colchester on Saturday.
Sweet.
Barbarian Hermit.
Yes.
That's me. No. Nomad, A Horse Called War, and more.
These all just sound like D&D names.
They do.
That's great.
They're metal bands. They're playing in Ipswich at the Premier Pool Club, thanks to Dead Soul Promotions. That's this Saturday, the 13th. Two more for Saturday. Decide Today from the USA. Buttercup Insurgent and Ryan Jordan are playing courtesy of Central Audio Lab. It's good, where the rehearsal room, so they're having some music in there. It's electronica style stuff this Saturday. You've got to get tickets from the website for that one, so check that out. And Saturday, Polly Haynes is playing at Three Wise Monkeys in Ipswich. I'm missing so much from playing them again. So that's this Saturday at the Three Wise Monkeys in Ipswich. Check out Polly and her band. They are wonderful. That's me done for Saturdays. What about you? Anything else there, boy?
No, I think you've covered it all really well.
That's just shouting over you, basically.
Yeah, you done good, mate. You done good.
There's a couple more for Sunday.
Yes, I've got
Andrea
some
King is playing, thanks to Keith Sadler Presents at Arlington's. Those nights are looking really fun at the moment, actually. That's this Sunday, 14th of April. That starts about 6, so get down there for that one. That's a really nice vibe in there. Back Porch.
Oh, yeah.
Blues band. They're wonderful. At the Shamrock. I believe the harmonica player taught Giles a few things.
Oh, sweet.
In the early days. So, yeah, he's good. Sunday at 6:30 at the Shamrock in Ipswich.
Sweet. We've Steamboat Tavern have got a thing on Sunday.
What's that?
They've got Sounds on Sunday.
Oh.
Eddie Johnson and Jade May Jean
Oh, that'd be good.
with La Fontaine Ensemble Jazz Band.
That sounds fun. I like that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, if
anyone's about, head along to
Jade
that.
May Jean is a bit wonderful, so if you like your singers,
Very good, yes.
and check it out. So we're running out of time, so I want to play some beautiful music by Morgan Swan. I actually teach his cousin, guitar, Tish. So shout out to Tish. She introduced me to Morgan Swan months and months ago, and I found out he's playing this weekend. So this is really, really nice, like emotional lyrics on this one. Yeah, you can relate to it quite a lot. Harley, mate, you done good, didn't you?
Well, let's hope I can make it to the end of this episode without messing up any more sound, shall we?
Bye.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button.